The journey, the journey, the journey, the journey, the journey, journey to radiance, 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 along with your history, your amazing story. I don't know if people know what an amazing artist you are.
Yeah.
You know, and as I'm sitting here and I heard you quote Bob Marley there, and I'm just remembering, you know, a time when I heard you sing Redemption Song.
Whoa.
Could you give us a little bit of Redemption Song, man?
All pirates, yes, they roll by, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hands was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of us can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Ooh, some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, redemption song. The songs of freedom, redemption song.
MXO, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? In the studio here, Journey to Radiance.
Yes.
Talk to us about your art. You know, as people can hear, you're a phenomenal singer. You know, just a little flashback, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I met this guy maybe, close to 20 years ago, 19 years ago,
Yeah.
in a community called Yeoville,
Yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah.
And Yeoville was one of those places that they would tell you don't go to. So if you're coming to visit South Africa, it's a couple places they would say don't go. Yeoville or Hillbrew.
Yeah.
And I remember that all the artists, you know, all the free thinkers,
Oh, yeah.
the new minds of the time were conjugating in
The
Yeoville.
rebels.
Yeah.
The people wanted to change the world.
They wanted to change the world. So all those free thinkers were in Yeoville. And that's where I met you.
Oh, yeah.
And you had just this wonderful, youthful energy, but with this voice that had so much wisdom and so much history and culture in it. And talk to us about your art. When did you first come to the realization that, wait a second, you know, not only do I have a voice, but, you know, it sounds pretty good. And I'm a singer, you know.
Actually, you know, my story begins with the apartheid time, where music kind of put us together as a community. And as I grew up older, when they said the buck beat you and you can't turn back, it's like a calling. It's like you've been called for this thing. It's not really designed. It's just a universal thing of saying, you are a healer, you're going to heal this way. So my music and my purpose is to heal through music. So hence, my brothers and my cousins had a part of, a part of ways of shaping me to be the man I am and the artist I am today. You know, being Khabulisa, you know, giving me, you know, the word in the streets, you know, and telling me about what's going on right now. When I became independent, I really thought, okay, aluta continua. And let me use this music thing as a tool to free my people and free myself also. And when I did, I came to Yeoville after I passed my high school, and I wanted to be like an economist, you know. But the music was like, you know, hold on, follow your calling.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to go and follow my calling, and and became one of the pioneers in my country. Doing the music and thing, and most people, they've been healed by my music. So I'm blessed.
Yeah. Very blessed and very knowledgeable. I remember, we end up living together.
Oh yeah,
and
the mansion.
And we had a mansion. It was called Thug Mansion.
Thug Mansion, because we're all rebels.
We're all rebels.
Wanted to change the status quo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we always thought apart from from the rules, because we're saying, hey, we don't want to break the rules. We just want to bend them a little bit.
We want to help each other.
Yeah, want to help each other.
And
Guidance, help us help you.
There it is. We started an organization. For those who don't know, we just did the secret handshake. From 20 years ago. But we started an organization called Guidance, Help Us Help You.
And the brotherhood is still here. We're growing stronger. Here.
And it almost brings tears to my eyes when I think of us back in those days, so young and so naive in a sense, but so powerful in our belief that we could change the world, that our music can not only heal people, but we could change and help people. And our organization was rooted in the belief that some of us might be able to make a lot of money doing entertainment, but we're going to use that to help our other brothers who have different business ventures they want to get into, whether it be jungle camp. These are some of the, and this was without no money. This was us taking our money that we made on shows and saying, we're going to help our other brothers establish a fruit stand, establish a clothing company, and then they would help repay us back.
You guys did better than Bono and these charitable guys from the UK.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you really help people to build each other.
Yeah.
So, big up to you guys, and thank you, for making me part of your family.
Yeah.
And, it's still a journey to radiance.
Yeah.
And we're spreading love. We're still gonna heal our people.
That's right.
We have a dream.
Yes.
We have a dream, and I'm just thinking about a lot of people are unaware of the relationship, the true relationship of continental Africans and Africans of the diaspora.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot is being put into framing a narrative that continental Africans don't like African Americans or Africans of the diaspora. Talk to us a little bit on that, because we definitely want to dispel that myth and that narrative that's out there. So you as a continental African, what is your view of, in particular, my tribe of Africans, the North American Africans, or familiarly called African Americans?
I was quite surprised and disturbed when people were talking about that, of saying there is a discourse. Where I grew up, we all were inspired by the culture. The African American community really brought us back our culture and religion of loving each own of who we are. The small from the movies and the music, when you talk about Arrested Development, you talk about the movement,
Erykah
Badu, Tupac, and stuff like that. So those are the most lit kids. Now, there is another generation of kids who are just too much into, not into conscious.
Dumbed down, as they would say.
Yeah, they're dumbed down. So
the culture's been dumbed down.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing they want to change their skin color. They want to
skin bleaching.
Bleaching. Use other European countries' hair, and stuff like that.
So they've bought into that same type of self-hatred that we have in America.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's a vice versa kind of situation, and now it's only the cult of us as a people who believe in the same idea as some of the smaller communities, the Black Panther, the Orishas, and different communities. So I think the only thing is just to unite as one, than separating us.
Right.
You know, especially as people of color.
Well, I have a dream.
Oh, yes.
And my dream is that we begin to understand each other across the diaspora. What would you suggest that we do to bridge the gap? Because no one's going to do it for us, right? In America, the only pictures that I ever saw of Africa, just it's just incredible.
Like the George Bezos and the Bonos and we are the
world.
world.
The plague wars, the pictures of the flies,
flies
around the babies with the big bellies. That's all we ever saw.
That's propaganda.
It's propaganda.
But we didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't know that then, and that was the Tarzan propaganda that they brought in.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was, in a way, I know a project that we worked on back then was called The Death of Tarzan.
Oh, yeah,
so, that was our first movie that we ever did, that we shot out there in South Africa. And it was really in an attempt to showcase a side of Africa that had not been seen by Africans of the diaspora. And that was the love, the beauty, the joy, the hopes, and the dreams that were firmly rooted in continental Africa. And I believe that's something that we were able to do with the So Beautiful project.
Oh, yes.
To show a different side of Africa and to really start changing that narrative. Because like Dr. Phyllis said, we had been bombarded with these images. And I think even an apology is needed, from us as, Africans of the diaspora to our brothers from Africa, who came here and were bombarded with different comments about you are African this, booty scratcher, this and that, because we were being programmed to not see you as our brothers, our sisters, our equals, but as something that was foreign. It's something that was distant. It's something that was, I ain't with that. That's South African. Whoa.
And we had our own, versions, our own isms and our own, battles with self-hatred that we didn't even know existed. Right? I had a white Barbie doll. Don't know why I had one, but I did. And I remember spending hours rubbing my skin up against this Barbie trying to get this black off of me.
Wow.
And when I think about that now, I'm like, oh my God. Because I was like, I can't grow up in this skin. This is going to be horrible, right? And then when I think about what would make me go there, right? And for me to be left to think that, right? And then to have to go through the process of being, wait a minute, I actually love who I am.
The melanin beauty.
That's what I'm saying,
but
right?
think about this, with that concept that you said, Dr. Phyllis, with the Barbie. Imagine if it wasn't a white Barbie, but a white God.
Yeah.
And I say that to say one thing that really hurt and shocked me when I first moved to Africa was going to the schools and seeing white Jesus on all the walls.
Lord have mercy.
And going into homes and seeing that.
Did you see recently they had a model of a guy who looks like those pictures? And people were like shocked and they were like, oh man. They had in Ghana a priest or a pastor.
Yeah.
They had a guy wearing in robes and he looks like a hippie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then people were shocked and some people had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing this figure.
And I've been to Ghana, and Ghana was another place that really it broke my heart to see that, that propaganda and the indoctrination of, this is who you need to ascend to try to be, and whether or not it's the belief of Christianity, but to put an image to it that is unlike you in any form, to me is very destructive, and so I'm so glad you brought up the white Barbie.
Yeah.
Triggered you just like that, just having a white Barbie. So imagine if it's a white God that you have.
Exactly.
To where in your house is a picture of him, in your school is a picture of him.
And we had that.
Yeah.
We had that.
We came out of that,
Picture of Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and white Jesus.
And that was in every home.
Every
Martin
home.
Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and white Jesus.
It's like we are, either in front of or behind each other with these multi levels of colonization.
Between South
And
Africa
we've
and
got
America.
to, Rev Wyatt would say, destroy the destroyer, right? Take what was designed to destroy you and you destroy it, right? So how do we do that? Like, how can we better in the United States understand you, reach out to you? What would you suggest?
Welcome you.
Yes, how do we welcome you? Because we want the dream to manifest, right? We need to take different steps.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like the propaganda, the narrative, that is coming from the multimedia, because that's what everyone uses to keep on disrupting the mind.
Yes.
So I guess with the Pan-African mind state and designs and everything that, from programs like this, we need more of this.
Yes.
The genital radiance programs. So, we can transcend those messages of hope, of people know that we are united, we are one, we have the same dream and everything. So we have to cross borders and make sure this kind of knowledge is spread all over, everywhere around, wherever around the world.
Yeah.
And we got to take control of our economy.
Yes.
And African-American black billionaires should not wait for, the Steve Jobs to, and Bill Gates to offer any change wherever.
In Africa,
That's
yeah.
right.
Them to
That's
get
right.
on board.
So I almost feel like I'm hearing you say we need to travel to Africa more often and really have conversation, begin to invest in Africa, right?
Open up schools.
Right.
Yeah, help with the narrative, because now no one is conscious as okay, I'm not saying that, but I feel like the Americans, African Americans and people of color, they have more influences. We grew up with wanted to be like you.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're listening to the voice of MXO from South Africa. You're here in Oakland, touring, doing music and films. This is Wolfhawk Jaguar, Journey to Radiance, Journey to the Dream. We're going to stop and pause and take a health and healing moment with our very own Dr. Phyllis Hubbard, the Body Whisperer.
My. This is such an important topic to discuss. And in order for us to become visionaries, dreamers, and not just dreaming, but dreaming to manifestation, we have to level up how we work with our minds. And so this health and healing exercise is going to be a way for you to exercise the power of your mind. So energy follows your attention. So what I'd like for you to do, of course, if you're driving, pull over. Everyone else, find a comfortable place, sitting, lying down. If you're sitting, you want to pull your shoulders up, back, and down. Just relax the body. Begin to breathe slowly and deeply in and out. And as you do so, with your mind, scan the body. And just with your mind and with your attention, try to find an area of the body that's requesting your attention. You can find the area because it may be sore. You may feel an ache somewhere. Maybe you'll feel a pulsation of the body. As you scan from the feet all the way up to the head, notice if there's an area that is requesting your attention. This is the first step of increasing your awareness. When you find that spot, I want you to breathe into that spot, sending energy and attention there. And we'll breathe together as one. Let's take a breath in. Out. Feel like you're moving energy through that place. Breathing in. Energy to the place requesting your attention. One more time, breathing in.
think so. You with us?
Yeah, I can feel my tummy is getting settled now.
Yes.
It's your first health and healing moment here in the Journey to Radiance studio.
The power of the mind.
Power
Yes.
of the mind.
Power of the mind to heal. And if you go there in the mind, you go there in the body.
That's the, and that's so. The first time that I was in Johannesburg, we sat down and, one of our good friends at that time who we had just met, Sunshine and Lorato and, all our folks back in the day.
Oh, Shaka is chilling with them now.
Yeah, Shaka's chilling with them, Actually, we just had Shaka on the show a minute ago. But I remember we had a conversation, and at that time, they were all wearing these beautiful head wraps. And they told me that we found this to be beautiful, and we found our culture to be beautiful because of Erykah Badu.
Oh, yes.
Because Erykah Badu came out with the African head wrap and this African conscious mindset, and it taught us to love us. And it just blew my mind away. I'm like, wow.
Now, you see with the Black Panther and, the Dolomites and everything, like our superheroes, our kids, I'm happy that my kid is growing at this time where we're starting to take control of the media also. Slowly but surely. And, I'm that kind of parent to speak to my kid and give him the power of knowledge and his roots and everything.
The journey. The journey. The journey. Journey. Journey to radiance. 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 On a journey to radiance, the beauty is so evident. When you shape, shift, and form, break away from the norm. Higher levels of achievement, persistence is needed. A campaign for black male achievement, rooted in cultural relevance, opening the door for healing, flooding the mind with positive images. It's up to us to start loving us and really start believing. Black male reimagining the image of our greatness, building communities and taking ownership and knowing it's not about keeping score, but brothers coming together from shore to shore. It's sure the pain is the same. The game ain't gonna change until we become the change that we wanna see. I know we gonna win. Muhammad Ali, one is manifesting collective wealth. What a blessing guiding you on your journey to radiant health. Journey to radiance. 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 Journey to radiance.
I know just who I am, who I aspire to be, healing, evolving through my creativity. When I am faced with the fear that tempts me to flee, I take the time to breathe, so I can clearly see that I was born with all the power to overcome challenges trying to prevent my progression. Outside influences have no effect, you see. Nothing will stop me from setting my spirit free.
Journey to radiance. Journey to radiance. Journey to